to my little urban homestead and welcome to Fabric Friday. I've been going absolutely nuts making peg bags. First one I did, simple, easy, took me 10 minutes. Second one, it was off, I just sewed together an old dressing gown that next door neighbour had given me, and that became a peg bag. Old shirt I used to have, made that into one. Then I went fancy and made it out of the material that I've made other things out of. And I did 2 more. So I thought, the reason I've got a lot of peg bags is because, like these, they've got an apron pocket and a pocket in the back. So I'm going to put me large canning rings in and the tattle lids for the large one. That one will be for the regular sized one. And then obviously I need peg bags and laundry bags for putting dishcloths until they go through the washing machine. So I'm making another one. And I thought I'd show you how I do it. First of all, get your coat hanger, any size coat hanger you want. This is the coat hanger and the fabric that I'm going to be using. So basically, first thing I did is, let's turn it to the wrong side. To make this easy for me, one less seam, I'm going to use that fold as the bottom of the bag. So I will want my coat hanger up here, and that's roughly the size. If I measure it against the other, you can see that that is what I chose to do. Now you can get a normal pen, pencil, chalk pencil, erasable one. Just mark either side of your coat hanger. And then just draw around where it's going to be. I'm leaving a bit of a seam allowance. Doesn't have to be that much. Well, I'm leaving one. So there's where my coat hanger is going to be, and I want this one to have like a waist. So I'm taking down roughly what would be the arm, and then in a bit, and then a waist. So let's get my scissors now. And that's all there is to it. Now this, I've cut this half out, and so the other side matches it. I'm just going to fold it over and then cut it out exactly the same, using this half as the template where to cut. You can do this with a rotary cutter, but I'm old school. I use scissors an awful lot, especially for cutting out clothes. And that's it. So there is the front and the back. Now I want it to have a scalloped neck, so we'll open it out, fold it in half. This is so I can get both sides exactly the same, and draw the scalloped neck size. I want it the same depth as this one, so I'll go to there, I think. Yeah, I'll go to there and just draw around where you want it to go. Doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I think I want it wider than that. So sorry about that. So there is the scallop neck, and I think that's a bit too, so I'm going to just enlarge it slightly. That's why you start off small and work your way up. That's more like what I want. So what I'm going to do now, because when this goes on the hanger, it'll be sewn together, but you'll see the hanger here, and I don't want that. So I'm going to use a piece of this material just to back it. And again, I might do some other fabric, but there isn't much left of this, so I'm going to use that up. So we're using this as a template again. So what I've got left here, just see which is the biggest bit. That one, I think. So I want a nice straight edge. I'm going to leave the selvage on it because it's another step that I don't have to do, is turn it up and hem it. So that's my peg bag top. This is going to go there. What I'll do is lay it down. Move it around so I can get the most of it used, and cut it out. Doesn't have to be really spot on accurate, so when it goes together, that will be the back with the pretty side out. My coat hanger will be in there, that will be over the top, and the front of the bag will be there, like that. So now we need to cut out an apron. Now you can draw yourself a pattern on a piece of paper and then use that. I don't bother doing that. I want it to go from there to there. But I will want it to go curve round. So I want a rounded sort of apron. So that's roughly where I want it. So I'm going to cut it out now. And same as I did with the dress part, I'm going to fold it in half and use the side that I've cut as a template, so the other side will be exactly the same. I'll show you. That now is my template for the other side. There is my apron, and I'm having it lined, if you like, so it's nice and thick. That's what I've decided I'm having, so I'm having it. I've also cut out a strip 2-inch wide, and that'll be for going round the top part of the apron. Now I want some bias binding for going round the neck. Now for the apron, same again, whatever seam allowance you want to do, that's what you do. I'm basically going with foot. So same again on this one. We'll clip round the curved edges up to, but not including your stitches. But you've got all the seams in, which you have. And now we can turn it right side out, and I'll give it a quick press. What I'm going to do now is, on the longest stitch you've got, just a stitch, roughly 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, close to the edge, all the way across the top. And leave a long tail. If you grab the bobbin thread and just pull, slowly does it, or you'll break your thread, and just move your fabric along that thread so you're gathering it. That's it. And I'll do the other side now. Bobbin thread, hold, and slowly bring your fabric down so it gathers it up. And that'll do a nice round apron. So now what we do is this piece of 2-inch that I did folded exactly the same as I did do for the bias binding, so that the two raw edges are in the middle. Choose which you want as the front of the bag and the back of the bag, pocket, apron, whichever. Find the middle of your strip, because if it's long enough I'm going to take it through. Open it out and clip it to the middle of your bag. pocket, apron, whatever you want to call it. And do a little bit more. Until you're at the end. And do the other side as well. Now don't start from the end of your apron tie. Start from the bit that is next to the apron. Put down. Make sure you remember to lower your stitch length again, and then we just sew and stop at the end of your apron. Now we might need to trim this to get it to turn over better, because it can be a bit bulky with having the gathers in there. No, we don't need to trim, but same thing again as you did on the neck. Fold it over, and I like to do it from the middle, it makes it easier. Fold over, and then over again. And again, start from where the apron starts, not from the end of the strip of fabric. It's fairly bulky and there's a lot there. You can hear the sewing machine clunking. And there is your apron with ties put on it. So now we'll go back to the main body. Basically where your coat hanger is going to go, just fold it in and do a little line of stitching along there, and also do exactly the same on this bit that's going to be covering the coat hanger. We want to know that's where the bottom's going to be. That's roughly where I want it to be. You can measure it, get it more exact, whichever you want. I'm not going to bother with that. Definitely not going to bother with it. Now I haven't done it so that there's a tie at the back of it this way before, so we'll see if it works out. Now although we're not going to sew at the top, because this will be a pocket on it, I'm just putting the pin there to just hold it up, so I can now fan this out a bit and pin. So that's where I want it done. Now I'm going to start sewing here across the waistband, if you like, this band, but I'm going to leave about ½ an inch, possibly 3/4 of an inch, and start there. I'm not going to start on the edge, it's about ½ to 3/4 of an inch in. So let's get all this round. Hopefully you can see all right. So there it is, and I want ½ an inch to 3/4 of an inch there. Drop your needle, back a touch, make sure your needle's down and pivot. So you come to there. So that's needs readjusting now. So what I'm going to do is go backwards to the top of this band. Because that will reinforce it. And now sew round the apron. Same again now as we did on the other side, to the top of the band, even just one stitch over it, back, pivot your work round, and go to and leave about ½ an inch, 3/4. Right, now if you're doing if you're doing the back and front out of 2 separate pieces of fabric, instead of like me, I folded it over, you want the back of the peg bag pretty side up. On top of that goes the front pretty side down, and on top of that goes the coat hanger flap pretty side down. And just put some pins, clips in there to hold it, and sew all the way around the edge. Start about, leave an inch gap where your coat hanger is going to come through, because you've already turned it in on itself. And go all the way around. Those loops are actually tucked in the apron part, so they're out of the way. So that's now sewn all the way around. If you slide your hand under this coat hanger flap down to the bottom, pull the bottom through. Moment of truth, because I bet you I put it in wrong. But oh no, it's right. And it's just a matter of pushing it out in the right direction. And stray threads again. Right, these apron ties, you can leave them like that, or we could have actually done these some more, go from the ends when we actually put the apron onto it, but never mind. Because we went with the fabric, we've got salvages on both of the ends of this strap, and that's it. There's the peg bag, and let's get the hanger. Hanger goes inside all the way, tuck it down, put it underneath the hanger cover and slide it up to the top that you've left open. That'll find a bit. There it is. Slide it up. Well, the piddly this. Put it around the end, that's it. And there. We've got making sure it's tucked through. One thing I've just noticed, I didn't catch all the fabric, so I'll just turn it the wrong side out and redo that bit. But just to show you, it's all done. And at the back, because you've got these, you can now tie them like an apron is tied. So there it is. There's the apron on the peg bag. Thank you. Bye.